Curtis and I decided to start trying for a family back 2 years ago now. We thought it would be really easy. We watched lots of friends get pregnant, and so, I thought in a month or two I would be pregnant. I went to the doctor and asked, we've been trying for almost a year, is there anything that we can look into? And he kind of just blew me off and said, you're really young, you're really healthy, keep trying and come back to me. So we did. We tried for a few more months, and still after that was negative test after negative test. So we just kept testing, kept trying to figure out what was wrong, but nobody could figure it out. So I kind of just, even though we were trying, I kind of pushed it back. And that wasn't my priority. So I focused on getting healthy. I started working out a lot and eating well and taking care of myself mentally and emotionally. Kind of just let some of it go a little bit. And I went and trained for a Spartan race, which was crazy. And I did it and I finished, and it was the best feeling that my body finally could do something well. After the race, I was laying in bed and I had taken a nap and was asleep. It was about 2 in the morning, and I sat up in bed and I thought I was dying. I thought I was having appendicitis, and was asking my girlfriends, can you take me to the hospital? They ended up finding a football-sized cyst in my pelvis on my fallopian tube. In the doctor's office, we were sitting on the table, and I asked him, so what does this mean? And he looked at us and he said, this is really hard, but you're probably never going to be able to have kids without IVF. And my heart just sank. Something I dreamed of forever is to be a mom. It's a really hard thing to accept that the biggest dream of mine was to be a mom, and it wasn't going to happen the way that I planned it to. But I just had to let it go, and I felt like I was being buried, but I just had to switch my frame of mind. All of this is burying me, but God is protecting me, and He's with me. And even though that it's so dark, that so many people love me. We decided, in October is when my doctor down in Yuba City would be willing to try a few fertility treatments that would be covered. And then I went to my first day of work in August, and it was the first day of school, and it was crazy, and all the kids were so excited to see me. I was so excited to be there, but I felt horrible. I was so exhausted, and I was nauseated, and I was something does not feel right. So I was you know what, I'm gonna walk across the street and I'm gonna go and take a pregnancy test just for the heck of it. Well, that was the first pregnancy test I had taken in months. And immediately a line popped up, and I was oh my God, this has to be wrong. This cannot be right. This can't be right. It's positive. It was the longest 4 hours of my life for Curtis to get home. And he got home, and I was trying to think of what Pinteresty cute way to tell him, but I couldn't even. So I just said, close your eyes, and I held the stick out for him. And at first he just looked at it, and he was what is this yours? And I was yes, it's mine, I'm pregnant, and we just couldn't believe it. We're just so excited to meet him, and we're so thankful. I just feel so blessed for this miracle.
Here we stand, the world awaits. We'll let the stars tonight light the way. Hand in hand constant love that gives me strength. Under the starlight, we'll find our way, I know. This is the start of something beautiful. With you by my side, there's no place that we can't go. This is the start of something beautiful.
We waited so long for you. It just feels so special.